This evening's coverage of the IHSA Football Championships is proudly presented by Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. From the campus of Illinois State, Sports Channel presents the Class 3A Illinois High School Association State Championships. The Knights of Kaneland, 13-0 against the Harrisburg Bulldogs, coming in with a record of 12-1. And welcome back. We greet you again from Hancock Stadium along with Jack McInerney. I'm Mike Lederman. We hope you've enjoyed your shopping day and can sit back and relax and enjoy this ball game. Two teams from opposite end of the state. Well, it's only natural that they should come to the middle to play a 3A championship game. We've got Harrisburg from the south, Kaneland from near the DeKalb area, a multi-talented team and an undefeated team.
Well, Kaneland really is the top team in 3A this year. They have so much versatility and so much talent. It's going to be a very difficult night for Harrisburg to stop them.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of their key players you should watch. Ryan West, number 5, and the receiver cornerback, P.J. Fleck.
Well, Ryan West is really the go-to guy. He has 769 yards, but the thing is he has 23 touchdowns. He's very productive, catching the ball coming out of the backfield as well as rushing it.
It's the first final for Kaneland as you take a look there at P.J. Fleck, 57 catches. The next closest receiver to him has got 12, so that shows you he is the go-to guy through the air. Harrisburg is strictly a running team, over 4,000 yards on the ground. They have a couple of 1,000-yard receivers, one of whom isn't even going to play today, which puts another burden on Adam Tomko, who is an outstanding fullback.
Well, they really are going to have a tough time tonight because their running backs are hurt, and they have to go to their fullback, who really doesn't have great speed. He's a banger up inside, but that is not the breakaway speed they need to stay in the ballgame with Kaneland. He's going to have a big night, and I think they're going to have to throw the ball.
Somebody else they're expecting a great deal from, another two-way player, Jonathan Brown, number 62.
Well, he's going to have to stop Fleck and West. He plays both sides of the ball on offense and defense. He's the anchor of that offense and defensive line, and he really is going to be a key this evening.
Well, the rain has held up. Fog is rolling in, but we should be able to see this one just fine. We hope you enjoy it. Let's go now to Jeff Fritzen on the public address for the opening lineups.
From Byron.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for today's Class 3A State Championship game. First, for Kaneland, head coach Joe Thorgeson. At left end, number 69, Chad Hurst. At left tackle, number 56, Anthony Parilli. At right tackle, number 65, Brad Phil. At right end, number 66, Brian Hara. At linebacker, number 55, Rusty Posen. At linebacker, number 4, Kyle Schrader. Linebacker, number 5, Ryan West. Defensive back, number 44, Sean Wins. Defensive back, number 10, P.J. Fleck. At safety, number 8, Aaron Siebens. And at safety, number 2, Luke Peterson. And now for Harrisburg, head coach Al Way. At left end, number 80, Steven Stiles. At left tackle, number 79, Doug Nugent. At left guard, number 62, Jonathan Brown. At center, number 50, Matt Hancock. Right guard, number 64, Jonathan Steinsultz. Right tackle, number 77, Cameron Rumsey. Right end, number 82, Stanley DeArmond. Quarterback, 14, Drew Logan. At halfback, number 25, Gabe Portee. At halfback, number 28, Jariah Moss. And at fullback, number 32, Adam Tomkow.
In the purple with the white trim, the Bulldogs of Harrisburg getting a little bit of a celebration and a little pep talk early as a couple of players came flying through the huddle. Let's go to Dyro Joyner, who joins us on the sidelines. DJ.
All right, guys, both coaches right now are expecting the defenses to stand up big in this ball game. Kaneland comes in with a linebacking core led by Rusty Posen. He has 113 tackles on the year, 65 solo, while the Bulldogs come in just as stingy on the defense. They have held opponents, their starting team, to only 4 touchdowns in the postseason and have given up only 165 total offense per game in the postseason. So expect the defenses to stand up. And one interesting note, the Bulldogs come in about 5 pounds heavier per man than the Knights. Should be pretty interesting to see how this all breaks down. Back to you guys upstairs in the booth.
All right, Tyrell, looking good down there. Kicking off is Matt Glad, number 11. Harrisburg will send 3 men deep with Jariah Moss, number 28, in the middle. We are just about set to go here as the fog is rolling in, but you've got a good view. Glad's kick, taken at the 8. This is Pat Seagraves, and Seagraves makes a couple of moves, gets by Luke Peterson and turns it up, knocked out of bounds at the 40. A great start for the Bulldogs as Patrick Seagraves, a 24-yard kickoff return. Check it, a 33-yard return, and watch it here.
Well, they need this field position to help them because they are a little down and out on their luck as far as running backs, and so field position is definitely going to help them. So this is a big run back for them to get off to a good start against this very difficult and tough Kaneland defense.
And if you're looking for someone to play a key role, look for number 3, Seagraves. He plays both sides of the ball. He's the backup quarterback, he's the halfback, and he also can catch it. Full house backfields to start things off for the Bulldog. The cornerback is Drew Logan, quarterback Logan, and he hands it off to Moss. Jariah Moss gets about 3 yards, brought down by West as we take a look at the Country Company's Bulldog offense. Big Nugent, Doug Nugent, 5'9", 260, anchors that offensive line. All seniors, Brown Hancock, Steinsoltz, and Cameron Rumsey over on the right side. Logan, the quarterback. Stiles and DeArmond, the receivers. Portee, Moss, and Adam Tomko, the fullback. Call it a gain of 3, make it 2nd and 7. Again, straight T formation. They give it to the man in the middle. This is Chad Sanders, number 20. And Sanders gets to the 45. Aaron Siebens comes in to make the stop. We'll take a look now at the Knights defense. Hurst, Perilli, Phil, big guy at about 240 at right tackle. Hera and Rusty Posen, key man at linebacker. Schrader, West, Aaron Siebens out there in the defensive secondary. Peterson, Wenz, and DJ Fleck. There are your Knights. Just the start of things here, the first drive of the ball game. Receiver split left. On 3rd and 5. In motion, and they give it to Tomko. Check it to Jariah Moss, and Moss is short by a couple of yards. Ryan West making the stop, as it will be a punting situation here for the Bulldogs.
You can see right here, it's just a quick little trap up inside. By running the other back out in motion, they were hoping to pull out one of the linebackers and run that trap up inside. Well-designed play, but he came up about a yard short.
So Ryan West will drop into safety coverage along with PJ Fleck. There is Fleck, number 10.
He's a threat anytime he touches the ball.
And punting for Harrisburg will be Tomko, the fullback. Averages about 33 yards a kick. And the clock went down to 0. And we may get a delay.
Delay, purple, repeat, 4th down.
Michael Ryer, the referee. One of 3 family members on this crew, a dad and 2 sons, Joe and Ed. Joe's the dad. Ed and Mike are the officials. As you look at Al Way, the others, John Kiefer and Mark Chesarek. The men in the stripes. Tomko to kick. The 2 safeties at their own 28. And this one a low, as you see. Low kick gets the bounce. And
wise decision.
let it go down inside the 25-yard line. So after a 32-yard punt, the Kaneland Knights will take over, and we will see their offense, which, as we say, is multi-dimensional. And let's see how much of a variety they can use to what effect as they come out behind Eric Delaney, the quarterback.
A little confusion in defense for Harrisburg in this formation.
3 receivers right. First is complete. Out there to P.J. Fleck. Fleck to midfield before he is hauled down by number 41, the safety Clint Simpson. Gain of 25 yards, first play of the ball game.
Well, they run off the inside man. It's just a 3-step drop, and he rifles it right out here. Nice catch, and here's a good move right there. He goes right up the seam, and this is a touchdown-saving tackle right there. He had nothing but 6 points in front of him if that tackle wasn't made.
So it's a 1st and 10, just inside the midfield stripe. Again, that is Fleck in motion. Receivers left and right. And the quarterback coming through, Delaney. And Delaney, look out. Inside the 15-yard line, another saving tackle by Simpson and Scott Way. But Delaney, who is not a big rushing ball player, rode that option for 38 yards.
See right here, he just does a nice job. The outside linebacker comes up to take the pitch man. He just does a nice job of cutting the ball back. Does an excellent job of running here. He's not known for his running ability, more for his passing with about 1,500 yards and 14 touchdown passes, but right there it showed his versatility.
Delaney is a junior. He started the first few games in his sophomore year, had a confidence problem, really had a problem taking the snaps, so they sat him down. And this year he's back with his confidence intact and rebuilt, and you saw it right there. From the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Delaney looking, sprinting to throw. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, P.J. Fleck.
That was like taking candy from a baby. A missed coverage there. They ended up and looked like a 2 deep, and he just split the 2 safeties and curled right up in, right under the goalpost, and Delaney found him wide open.
What a drive.
The little roll out right here confuses the secondary. They're going to think it. I think they're going to roll up the coverage. You can see right here, there comes number 7. He was looking to roll up, and number 10 just curls up. P.J. Fleck, 59th catch.
Well, you saw Scott Way as Matt Glad adds the extra point. Scott Way, the defensive back, was looking with his hands up, said, who's supposed to cover this guy? Well, no one did. And right away on the first drive of the game, as we had in 1A, we've got a quick hit touchdown. 8:47 to go. Kaneland in front, 7-0. Kaneland scoring on its opening drive, 7-0. Matt Glad will kick it back to Harrisburg. Deke Rivers, number 22 in the middle, flanked by Patton Seagraves, number 3, and Jeriah Moss, number 28. And Rivers watches the ball go into the end zone. Touchback. Harrisburg, 1st and 10 at the 20. Well, certainly blown coverage on this, Jack, as we see the touchdown again.
Well, the movement here by the quarterback just flowing. You can see people sliding over. Now he's going right in the seam, right there between the 2 safeties. Wide open, just throws his hands up, and you can see right there the defensive back, Scott Way, trying to figure out what the coverage should have been.
As you take a look at Joe Thorgerson there, his scoring drive, only 3 plays, 76 yards, and under a minute. They hit early, and from previous games we can tell you they hit off it. Harrisburg with the ball, and it is free. Ball is loose. Luke Peterson underneath that pile, and Kaneland comes up with it. It is Knights ball. Let's just double check and let's listen for the official. Waves off the penalty flag, so it is.
No penalty.
1st down for the Knights. We'll show it to you again here.
You can see just a little counter coming back, and right here is a good hard hit. He's held up, and right there as he twists away, the ball is taken loose.
West knocked it away from Deke Rivers right there.
Right there. And Kaneland has excellent field position.
8:39 to go from the 23-yard line for Kaneland. Already ahead 7-0. Here's the pitch back to West, and West gets short yardage. Brown brings him down outside the 20 as we check the offense for the Kaneland Knights for Country Companies. Staker, Snyder, Wallace, Myers, and Hera. Big offensive line. Sophomore and a junior. The rest are seniors. Delaney and McCowan are your receiver. Delaney, your quarterback. McCowan is the receiver, along with Fleck, Wenz, West, and Schrader. Your backs, and they do a lot of moving around the personnel. They have a lot of two-way ball players, and they rest him on offense, not defense. 2nd down and 8. Delaney on the inside handoff to Schrader, and Schrader gets short yardage to the 20. The defense for the Bulldogs, McIntosh right, Steinsaltz the nose guard, Lawrence, and there is Jonathan Brown anchoring the line at defensive tackle. Rivers, Daniil, and Hancock, the linebackers, and Simpson, Scott Way, and Patton Seagraves are the defensive backs. Eric Delaney, he's a big kid. He's 6'2", about 185 on 3rd and 7. He's got receivers left and right. Over the middle, slanting in and overshooting P.J. Fleck. Nicely defended by Deke Rivers. Now they've got a kicker with the win, Matt Glad. It'll be about a 37-yard kick if they try it.
You see, he wants to go to the outside route, but the linebacker jumps that, and he tries to catch him in the seam and just overthrows it a tad. But now they have an all-state kicker in Glad, and he has a 37-yard attempt here with the wind.
P.J. Fleck will hold. And the kick will be from the 27. Glad's got plenty of foot. And it is good. Matt Glad, a 37-yarder, and that had 10 yards to spare. So 7:19 to go, taking advantage of the turnover. Kaneland has come back for another score, this time a field goal, making it 10-0. Everything is going Kaneland's way, Jack.
Well, we're in a situation again where Harrisburg, which is not really known for their passing game, is going to be put into a situation where they're going to have to throw the ball. They have a couple of outstanding running backs that are injured, and they're put in a situation they don't want to be in. There's a good shot of Elway, and
both these coaches are veterans. 17 years for Joe Thorgerson, 19 years for that man, Al Way. And here is Matt Glad, who's been about as busy as anyone on both sides of the field tonight. And we're still 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, Kaneland is the biggest school in 3A. They had been 4A the last couple years, and they were right on the bubble this year. And Joe Thorgerson breathed a sigh of relief when they got into 3A this year.
This one is deep. Rivers, and he had a foot on the goal line. So in high school ball, it is immediately a touchback. And once again, Harrisburg will start deep in its own territory at the 20. There's a good look at Deke Rivers. The back we were talking about, Josh Hodge, 5'9" junior, rushed for 9 touchdowns and 1,000 yards, but he injured his knee and ankle early in the season and again in the playoffs, and he is not even dressed today.
That's a big loss when you lose a
Yeah, someone of that
1,000-yard rusher.
Jariah Moss, number 28, is also aching. He's got an injured knee from the semifinal. And this time it is Portee, and Gabe Portee, his first carry as flags fly, gets about a yard. Ryan West comes up to make the stop. Let's check out the penalty. Chad Hurst also in there, number 69.
Personal foul, face mask, white, first down.
Well, a big walk-off against Kaneland. We'll show it to you if we can. Face mask penalty, a 15-yarder. Here we go.
You'll see it right there, just making that diving play, and he hooks onto that face mask, and that's 15 yards.
Looked like Brad Thill, the the offensive tackle. And Thill's a good story. He didn't play football until this year. He came from Aurora Christian, where he played basketball. By game 6, he was starting, so still got a few things to learn, but he's not the only one ever to commit a face mask penalty. First down. Flush from the pocket. Logan got a man.
Great coverage.
Looking for DeArmond, but the coverage there by Aaron Stevens, the safety, number 8.
Now he was open early, and then Siebens jumped down. This was really excellent execution. He puts the ball right on the money, but you can see right there Sieben leaves his feet, or that would have been a big pass completion to Stanley DeArm. You can see right there where he uses his right arm to make the deflection. It was a good throw, but it was excellent coverage.
DeArmond 6 catches on the year, and there you see Aaron Siebens, the backup quarterback, as well as the starting safety. Second down from the 35. Seagrave splits it right. Over the middle into Seagraves, and it is incomplete. Harrisburg fans didn't like that. Of course, the Knights immediately said, along with P.J. Fleck, that the ball hit the ground. We'll show it to you here.
Just a straight drop back. He does a real deep dig route, and he's open. Let's see if we can see it from here. Looks like he juggled. It's hard to tell on that. You know the officials wouldn't tell a lie, so it's an incompletion.
Brings up 3rd and 10. 6:40 to go. 10-0 Kaneland. They've scored both times they have had the ball. On 3rd down, receiver split left and right. Logan in trouble. And Logan is dragged down behind the line by Luke Peterson, the safety blitzing. And Peterson with the sack, as this defense is aggressive.
You can see the penetration right here. Throws the entire blocking scheme off. He doesn't even have a chance to set up. He's got to scramble for his life. And that was all caused by the defensive lineman making great penetration up front.
So it brings up 4th down, and Tomko will punt to West and Fleck. Fleck loses the ball, and Rivers is on it immediately for the Bulldogs at the 35-yard line of Kaneland.
That's the kind of break they need.
P.J. Fleck, the normally sure-handed receiver, had to go back on that ball on the punt, a low liner, and mishandled it.
You can see where he turns his shoulders right here. Kind of misplayed it, and great coverage right here.
Well, you know, coaches tell you, Jack, you don't want the ball to bounce on that AstroTurf, but P.J. Fleck was not in good position to catch it.
He certainly was in this great position right now, and a big break for Harrisburg.
So down on the Kaneland 35, Harrisburg now comes out in the eye. Tomko, the fullback. Moss, the deep bag, and it goes to Jariah Moss. And Moss, with a couple of moves, shakes 2 men, gets down to the 30, knocked out of bounds by Fleck. Jariah Moss, we told you, has got leg injuries, but he's a fancy runner when he can shake free. Under 6 minutes to go here.
Here's a look at it. It's just an isolation off tackling. He just keeps bouncing it out, stretching it outside, and picks up a couple of yards.
Stepped out of Posen's tackle, and Fleck knocked him out of bounds after a gain of 5. So from the 30-yard line, Moss comes to the sidelines. Single back set now is Tomko. 2 receivers left, Seagraves right. And this time Logan goes himself. May have been a busted play. Gets very little, if anything. Posen sitting on top of him there, the big linebacker, along with Phil, number 65.
It's hard to tell if that was going to be like a lead draw where he faked to the fullback, because it just was not executed very well. Fakes right here, like an option look, and he's going to follow up with a run. But again, great penetration up front by the front 4 of Kaneland. Negates that play and that gain.
Kaneland moving into the win now with a 3rd and 4. You look at Al Way, and we have an official's timeout on the field. And while we're waiting for play to resume, we'll tell you the Chicago Sun-Times Newspaper Network are the official newspapers of the IHSA State Championships. And we hope you enjoy reading all the folks at the Sun-Times. Al Way knows this is a very important drive early in the ball game. His team down 10-0.
He's really got to get some help up front. The key right now for Harrisburg is the offensive line. Right now they're being handled by Kaneland.
Rivers and Seagraves, bottom of your picture. And a quick hitter, it goes to Tomko, and Tomko comes up way short, trying the middle of the line. Posen and West in there again.
Well, Posen and West, both tremendous players. Rusty Posen, 65 solo tackles and 48 assists. But the key for Rusty Posen, right here in the middle of your screen, 55. He read his keys, the trap. He stepped right up inside underneath the trap, and that's why he was named Defensive Player of the Year in the Suburban Prairie Blue Division.
Lost a yard. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 4. They've got to get to the 25. Quick pitch. Jariah Moss is short.
Great defensive play.
Once again, it's P.J. Fleck. And Fleck stopping the runner Jariah Moss, and the ball will go over. We'll show it to you here.
Well, they're pulling a tackle on a quick pitch. Here's the halfback. He gets outside that penetrating defensive tackle, but the pursuit and the angles of the safety come up, and they hold him a yard short of that. Just excellent tackling, but just tremendous pursuit on the defensive side of Kaneland.
Well, a big defensive stop for Kaneland, and now the Knights will go on offense. So far, they're 2 for 2 from their own 27. They're in the eye. Now West goes in motion. 2 receivers right, now 3. Delaney sprints out of the pocket, got a man wide open, completes it to West. West to midfield. Down to the 47-yard line. Ryan West, 25-yard reception. Stopped by Deke Rivers.
Well, West is in motion right here as this play is going, and nobody picks him up. They're in man coverage. You can see the 22 at the top of the screen. Everybody had a man, but the person that was assigned to Adam West did not pick him up. That was a linebacker. He couldn't stay with him. He's wide open in the middle of the field. Big first down for Kaneland.
Delaney took a shot as he released the ball from Brandon McIntosh, but the gain was there. The completion was there from the 48-yard line. Quick inside, and moving the pile big time is Schrader. And Kyle Schrader, 5'11", 185, from the fullback spot. As we told you, a lot of movement on the offense. Schrader will play fullback, will play tailback, and he'll split out. They'll bring in Posen to be a blocking back, and they run different sets just about every play. Now they go with the offset eye after a gain of 5. Delaney, quick shot. Completes it. Once again, it's P.J. Fleck, short of the first down. Deke Rivers on the stop. But every play, Jack, every play seems to have Harrisburg back on its heels.
Well, they're really mixing it up nicely. That was just a 3-step drop. Picks up 7 yards. The play prior to that was just a fullback dive. Before that, it was motion with backs coming out of the backfield. They're really changing up their formations and doing an excellent job of play calling.
Now receivers to the left, West and Wenz, and they wedge him out. Delaney. And behind, excellent blocking from Wallace, Myers, and Snyder, the interior of that offensive line. Eric Delaney gets the first down and more.
Just an excellent surge right here by the offensive line. They're all wedge blocking inside, but the key was the center got off the ball so quickly. Adam Wallace, the center, 5'10" and 185-pound senior, did an excellent job of getting on that middle linebacker, Jason McNeil.
Single backfield, 3 receivers left. First down. Inside handoff, Schrader. Stopped by Brown inside the 20. 16-yard pickup. That quick hitter, they used Schrader on the inside handoff, and he responded again with a first down.
Well, you can see right there, they double-teamed the nose. He dove in and then busted back outside, and his quickness shows here. 17 touchdowns in the year and over 1,000 yards rushing.
Brown and Clint Simpson saved the touchdown, coming up to the 2-minute mark from the 18. And again, the inside handoff. This time it's West. And West gets a few yards down to the 14-yard line.
Kaneland at this point is really dominating the line of scrimmage. Staker, Snyder, Wallace, Myers, and Hara are doing an excellent job up front, creating nice holes for the running backs.
And there's Ryan West, a 3-year starter. Again, there's so many options that Harrisburg has to read at the line of scrimmage. That's Fleck in motion. Delaney, and Fleck couldn't make this catch. Ball was off his fingertips, probably couldn't have held on to it in bounds anyway, covered by Rivers. And it's third down from the 14.
It's a good shot there of Joe Thorgerson. He's been at Kaneland 17 years.
I really like the job. I'm sorry, Jack. I really like the job Delaney is doing. He is so cool back there behind center. And a lot of other players, especially in the Chicago area, have gotten much more publicity, but he is playing a whale of a game right now.
Well, he can have that kind of confidence with the offensive line he has.
Right over the middle. It is complete. West to the 4. Tripped up and finished off by Simpson after Brown got him around the ankles. And again, they seem to know exactly where everyone's supposed to be. This team is well coached.
Well, this is a middle screen to the wide receiver. He was out as a slot back, and he just came across your normal screen to a back going out. It was to a receiver coming into the middle.
First and goal from the 4. Under a minute to go. 10-0 Kaneland leading and driving. Inside Schrader to the 2. Before he's met by a pile of purple. Kyle Schrader, deceptive speed for a guy who's 5'11", 190. So often we've seen him on film, Jack, get that inside handoff and just break into the secondary.
Well, he's got quick feet. He doesn't have great speed. He has a real good quickness. And he scored 17 touchdowns, but the big thing for him is he almost averages 7 yards a carry.
Scott way to the right, 3 receivers to the right. Delaney's got a man. It's West fighting his way. And Scott Way puts the hit on him along with Clint Simpson.
That ball came so close to being picked off, and that would have been a state record 99-yard return. I mean to tell you.
It took forever to get there. Ryan West was waiting and waiting. You'll see it here on the replay.
It was a rollout to him going out, breaking out in the flat. It was just delivered late here, and right here, he just lays it up, and right there, if he breaks on the ball instead of the receiver, he's got a state record and a touchdown.
The drive will continue, but this time from the south end of the field. We will go to a break and come back for quarter number 2. It's 10-0 Kaneland right here on Sports Channel. The broadcast rights to tonight's state football championships have been granted to Sports Channel and Intersport by the Illinois High School Association. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of this event without the written consent of Sports Channel, Intersport, and the IHSA is prohibited. Getting through that was a chore. Third and goal from the 1. West. Touchdown, Kaneland. Ryan West on the 1-yard plunge. Gets his 24th touchdown of the season, his 19th on the ground.
Well, he's running behind a big offensive line that's coming off the ball very well tonight. He's running behind B.J. Myers and Brian Hara on the right side, and they're doing an excellent job.
And he will hold, P.J. Fleck rather will hold for Matt Glad. And the All-State kicker,
I got it,
gets the point. First play of the second quarter took 3 seconds. And we have a 17-0 Kaneland lead. Well, you're Al Way, Jack. What do you do?
Well, he doesn't have a lot of choices.
Maybe Dyrell Joyner can help us. DJ, take it away.
Well, guys, it should be pretty interesting to see what the Bulldogs do now, finding themselves down 17-zip. They are a run-oriented team. They have over 4,000 yards on the ground this season, but less than 1,000 yards in passing. So being down 17-zip, it would be pretty interesting to see if they do change that game plan and go in the air, or still continue to stay on the ground, churn it out, and stay with their original game plan. I guess we'll see. We have about 11 minutes and 57 seconds left in the second quarter. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Harrisburg's offense has been sputtering. The only first down came on a penalty. So once again, Glad will kick it off. 3 men back deep for Harrisburg. Rivers in the middle, and Moss takes it on the right. Moss to the 25. And across the 25, Billy McCown stops him at the 27-yard line after a 19-yard kickoff return. Kurt Long, also number 20, went in on the stop. As you look at Jariah Moss, his team down 17-zip. Drew Logan comes on as we take a look at the Kaneland scoring drive. 11 plays, 73 yards, about 4.5 minutes, Jack. They've done it quickly and they've drawn it out.
And they've done it with their offensive line hitting on all cylinders. That's been the key tonight for Kaneland. Their offensive line and defensive lines have controlled the line of scrimmage.
Ends in tight, full house backfield for Harrisburg. Logan runs the option, and a nice gain for Logan with number 66 Brian Hera and 44 Sean Wenz making the stop, but he is close to a first down across the 35, maybe a yard short. Some mobility shown there by Drew Logan.
It's a very well executed option play. That might be the key that they need to do for some big plays now, is to come back with some option, because it does slow down those linebackers a little bit.
Tomko, the middle of the full house backfield, and he gets the handoff here and gets short yardage. Depends on the spot. Close to the first down. Had to get to the just beyond the 37. And they'll bring out the chains. Rusty Posen, number 55, the all-time Kaneland tackling leader, adding to his total.
Well, the thing that I'm impressed about with him is he also has 21 sacks this year. That's quite a statistic for a high school linebacker.
113 tackles, 65 of them solo. Plays some fullback. They get a lot of mileage out of their ball players over there out in Maple Park.
They sure do. You have to rotate those cleats every 1,000 yards.
That's right. Ah, wonderful. He's Jack McInerney, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Lederman. Dave Turner, our Sports Channel crew in the truck. Our spotters, Kelly Glass for Harrisburg and Dennis Hansen for Kaneland. As you see the mark, about 18 inches to go. And, well, yardage tells the story here. Kaneland, 142 yards. Still 11 minutes to go in the first half. Seagraves goes out to the right. You see him at the top of your picture on 3rd and short. And they go to the fullback, Tomko. If he got it, it's not by much. Met once again by number 69, Chad Hurst, along with Rusty Posen.
Well, they're just going right up the gut here. Just a real short little trap, but you can see Rusty Posen again reading his keys. When that guard pulled, he just filled right up inside. And right at this point, Kaneland is absolutely challenging Harrisburg to throw the ball. They've got 4 linebackers inside. The defensive backs are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they're just saying you have to throw the ball. And right now,
very interesting measurement coming up here, Jack. Look at that spot. If Mr. Hurst just, well, he's got to get a good look at it, and they are still short. So, 4th down, half a foot, well, maybe a foot. Chad Sanders, number 20, comes in. Tomko comes out. Well, the punter is Tomko, so you know they're going to go for it here, well in their own territory.
It's also kind of interesting they take out Tomko because he's one of their top runners.
Now we get a last-minute substitution with Portee coming in. The play clock hasn't started up, so they're in no danger of a delay call for Harrisburg.
They might just try and draw them off sides here and take the penalty. It's tough to tell what they're doing if they don't get the front they want.
And the quarterback, Logan, nice play, and he gets the first down. Nothing was working inside, so he sprinted out with Sean Wenz making a stop, but a first down for Harrisburg, and they've been few and far between for the Bulldogs so far.
The most productive plays thus far for Harrisburg has been the option with Drew Logan carrying the ball. The last big run in this drive was by him carrying the ball in the option. And I think what's happening there is they're saying that we really can't control you up front, so we're going to go out and force you to play some more disciplined football and take the option.
From the 44, 1st and 10. Again, the tight full house set. Logan being chased, and down he goes. It is Hurst and Phil and Perilli all the way back to the 32-yard line. Loss at 12.
You can see right here, number 56, Anthony Pirelli, just split that double team. Both the center and guard tried to block back on him, and he just split that double team. 175-pound senior, a big sack.
Second down and 22. 17-0. Harrisburg trails. Looking for the screen, has his man, and Rivers doesn't get much.
Ryan Herrera.
Herrera makes a stop on Rivers, but again, only a gain of about 2 yards.
The defensive front is just very active. Joe Thorgerson had talked about the athleticism of his entire team, but the fact that the linemen aren't real big. Now there's a defensive lineman that's 5'9", 225 pounds, but yet he rushed the passer, saw the screen coming, broke off, and was able to make the tackle. That is athleticism.
Well, it's tee-off time here for Kaneland. 3rd and 20 from the 34. Receiver split, left and right. Logan straight back this time. Lets it go for Seagraves. It is a duck, and it is intercepted by Fleck at the 40. That ball had doom on it from the time he left his hand. P.J. Fleck had a better shot at this one than the receiver did.
Well, as you can see, his left foot was behind him. He really didn't get his hips over the ball. He just threw that up in the air, and in this fog, that leather gets heavy once it gets that high, so it just dropped down like a mortar round. Just not a real well-thrown football, but a nice job of Fleck going up and getting the ball.
8th interception for Fleck. That's a team lead too right there. Quickly across Delaney, and he shoots it inside looking for McCowan. Billy McCowan brought down by Seagraves on the slant, and they cross midfield to the 46-yard line. First down.
This is where Kaneland has to go for the jugular right here, put them out of the game. Go for another score right before halftime here and really put the pressure on Harrisburg where they just don't have the horses to stay with them.
Good look at Billy McCowan. Kaneland 17, Harrisburg nothing. First down from the 46, 8:22 and counting. 3 receivers right. There goes Fleck in motion. Delaney hands it off to Schrader, and Schrader brought down handily this time. After a short gain, it looked like Steinsaltz, Jonathan Steinsaltz, number 64 right there, got him the nose guard, 5'10", 235.
Well, they've run that play prior on real quick traps, and have been big gainers for them when they spread out the linebackers with those formations by going to trips and double slots. And when they have the one back, they've been running traps up inside.
Schrader and West in the offset eye. Receivers left and right. Fleck in motion. Delaney being chased. Flips the screen. He's got Schrader. And Schrader knows where to go. Scott Way brings him down at the 26-yard line. 20-yard gain. Once again, it's Schrader hooking up with Delaney. Picture perfect play.
You can see right there, you can see Schrader sliding out for the screen as the quarterback drops back. Just a nice job of running right here. Kind of outruns his blockers, but still gets upfield for a big first down.
From the 27, 1st and 10. Kaneland 17-0 and driving. Delaney looking deep, intended for McCowan. Broken up nicely by Seagraves, close to the end zone.
Interesting route. He ran the quick slant initially and then broke it back out, trying to get the cornerback to bite on the slant, and he broke in behind him, and just a ball a little bit underthrown, but you can see how he goes up for it very aggressively. Nice play by the defensive back.
McCown right there, only 5'6", 11 catches, 3 touchdowns. 2nd and 10. And this is West, and Ryan West tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. It looked like Jason Daniil, the linebacker, number 74, got him. Pick up 3.
He had some running room on that had he not been tripped up.
There was a lot of beef on that Harrisburg front line. 235, 225, 235, 220.
Well, you know what? I'm going to just go real quick in my head. I think that averages out to 222 for the offensive line or the defensive line for Harrisburg.
It's Archimedes right here.
Well, Dave Meredith, my daughter's math teacher, used to tell me how to do that real quick.
Delaney throwing, got his man, completes it. Schrader inside the 10, loses the ball out of bounds. Once again, Schrader as the outlet man. Ball jarred loose by Clint Simpson, but it went out of bounds, and it's another first down for Kaneland.
Well, applying a little pressure on the corners. A nice throw. You can see right here he makes the move and tries to cut back, loses the football right here, but in Kaneland's favor, they've getting all the bounces tonight.
Good play by Rivers, but it just gains a couple of more yards for the Knights. So first and goal from the 9. Kaneland up 17-0. West in motion. Handoff quickly. It goes to Schrader, and Schrader meets Jonathan Brown, and Jonathan Brown wins that battle.
Jonathan Brown has won a lot of battles this year. 5'11", 225-pound senior, 65 solos, 31 assists,
Look at those
7 sacks.
shoulder pads. I asked him, Jonathan, what are you doing with those big shoulder pads? He goes, it's all me.
I have shoulder pads like that in the suit I have.
Yes, I remember those zoot jobs, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I bet a snap brim hat too. 5:41 to go. First half. Delaney for Fleck.
Nice
Scott
job by
Way.
Scott Way.
Breaking it up. Brings up a third and goal.
Nice defensive play right there by the coach's son, Scott Way, 5'10", 155-pound junior. It's a tough matchup for him with P.J. Fleck.
Kaneland now takes a timeout. 5:35 to go. We'll be back. So far, it's been all Knights. Well, you're dueling mascots. That one is even, but the game certainly is not. It has been the Knights all night. Now at third and goal from the 9.
Oh!
And what a play by Harrisburg to trip up Eric Delaney. It looked like Steinsaltz got in there and tripped him up as he was sprinting out. Watch it here.
That's the turf.
Well, Steinsaltz was the closest, so we'll credit him with the sack, but he just went down. Loss at 10, and it'll be 4th and goal from the 18. So we will see Matt Glad again. Glad already good on a 37-yarder. This one will be, about a yard shorter. P.J. Fleck will hold at the 26.
Into a little stronger wind.
Well, he's got plenty of foot in this, but it is off to the left. Or if you're looking that way, to the right.
Or from our vantage point, to the east.
Is it to the east? Okay, watch it closely. And it starts to curl in, but not.
Certainly has enough leg.
I think it may have ticked the goalpost.
It certainly did.
And Matt Glad thought he had it. Guess again. Take your tea and go home. We'll see you later. Have a feeling he'll be back.
I think he will be too.
So from the 20-yard line, again, it's different in high school. The ball comes out to the 20. And Harrisburg will try to get something going here, trailing 17-0. Tomko in motion. Here's the pitch. This is Moss. Gets a block. And Sean Wenz brings him down after a gain of 4.
You know what is really impressive, Mike, sitting up here, we have a great vantage point up here, but the defense of Kaneland has tremendous pursuit. The moment that ball was pitched, you just see 11 white jerseys heading in that direction. They're really outstanding athletes. They move extremely well.
I also think they feel, and Joe Thorgerson implied this, that they're not afraid to over pursue because there's not that much speed on the Harrisburg side. At least it hasn't been shown to this point. Second down. Portee swallowed up by Hurst and Peterson. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 or thereabouts.
Those holes open up, but they close so very quickly. If we had a camera in the end zone shooting the hole, they do a nice job at the point of attack, but they close up real quickly. Let's just take a look at right there. Look at the size, and now all of a sudden their safety's up there. Now look at all those jerseys coming in. And that's one of the reasons why they're only giving up 7.9 points per game. Great defense.
2. And the quick hit, the sprint out here for the quarterback. It worked once. It looks like it's going to work again, as Aaron Siebens makes the stop on Drew Logan, but it's a first down for the Bulldogs.
When you have a 13-game season, actually this being the 14th, and you only give up less than 8 points a game, that's awful, awful good defense.
Pretty close, almost a clip in the back there, but Logan able to turn the right side and get the first down. That's been their most effective play on the ground.
You saw P.J. Fleck, number 10, standing up there. He was assigned to the pitch man, so he was waiting to make sure he turned up before he closed in.
Once again, the straight tee, the ends in tight, the quick hit, it goes to Moss, and Moss gets daylight, gets 8 yards into the secondary. West and Fleck bring him down. Jariah Moss, you can see, Moss we know is limping some, but you can see he's got some dandy moves if he ever can shake them.
Well, a little counter there, just a real quick trap, and he had over 880 yards during the regular season, and he averaged over 8 yards a carry, so that's a very respectable average for any running back.
Jariah Moss, a junior. Called a short 2 on second down. And here's the pitch. Moss again. First down and plenty more. Jariah Moss across the 50. Schrader drags him down. But the best run from scrimmage tonight for Harrisburg. Wentz also in on the stop. 14-yard. Nice sprint for Jariah Moss. And maybe the idea is just keep, like Barry Sanders, just keep running him until he breaks something.
Well, they out formationed them actually, and they got Doug Nugent, 5'9", 260 pounds out there pulling, coming down on a cornerback that's only 150 pounds, so that was kind of a mismatch.
And the quick hit again, Moss for the 3rd time, and again he gets good yardage down to the 40. And Jariah Moss pulls off a 7-yard gain, and he's getting into a rhythm. I know it's a little bit far-fetched to compare anyone to Barry Sanders, certainly at the high school level, but you can see the strategy here. They know that they can stop the inside runs of Tomko. Few moves by Moss can shake free.
Well, the penetration of the defensive line by Kaneland has led to these kind of plays. They're quick trapping them, and they're getting so deep into the backfield, they're almost taking themselves out of the play. Good job of play calling by Al Way and his Harrisburg staff.
2nd and 2 with Deuce backfield. And Logan tries to get it away, and he does at the last minute to Stiles. Stiles, the big end. Rusty Posen takes him down. The play still lost yardage, but not as much as it was going to.
Jonathan Brown threw a bone-crushing block here. You can see he gets pressure right here. Does a nice job of getting rid of the ball. Watch the block coming up by Jonathan Brown if it comes right into the screen right there. That's what we call the proverbial pancake. And Jonathan Brown at 5'11", 225 pounds has had a few of those, not only on the football field, but in the restaurants.
Well, he does pick up about... Actually, it'll be a 3rd and 6, so he lost a couple of yards. And we've got a timeout on the field. 1 minute, 4 seconds to go, first half. And this is the best offensive drive of the day or the evening for Harrisburg.
Well, we had talked earlier about Kaneland and how well they've done the last few years. Their program up until this year, they had lost 17 straight years to Morris, which has been the 3A and 4A king for many years.
There's no shame in that.
None at all. And this year they finally beat him, and Joe Thorgeson, really said that he felt as if that was the coming of the program, and certainly for their kids this year. That was early on, I think, in the second ball game.
Oh, we'd like to welcome some of our new Fox executives. Oh, no, that's... I'm in trouble now. That's Attitude, Jack. We just had to show you that. That's the IHSA mascot. And Attitude is here on hand. 3rd and 6. 1 minute 4 to go. Again, Logan looking to pitch. Gets the first down. Or close to it. Sieben sitting on top of him along with Posen. And once again, Logan using that option and turning the right side.
They're going to measure this one. It was really close. But that's been their big play, is the option. They're trying to run away from that that defensive line of Kaneland. They've been so dominant thus far, and it makes it a lot easier for the offensive line for Harrisburg if they got some angles.
Well, reminder that coming up next, right after this game, the 4A championship live on Sports Channel Plus. The rematch, Metamora against Providence. Providence, of course, the perennial power, got upset this year. So you know they're angry.
Well, upset. It broke a 50-game winning streak. That wouldn't, I mean, it was an upset, but
it was a huge upset.
Sooner or later.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, you win 50, you lose one, and everybody's
right. I'd like to have that.
So it is not a first down, 4th and inches, as they did not get a real good spot there. So 4th and inches, 55 seconds and counting. Kaneland digs in. Harrisburg. And a timeout called.
Well, they wanted to get a cheap penalty here to pull them off, and great discipline on Kaneland's part. They're watching the hand and not the voice inflection of the quarterback, and that's great coaching and great discipline on the defensive line's part.
Prep Bowl final is in. Dunbar 28, Marion Catholic 21, so one for the city, and Harvey of Dunbar. Russell, 3 touchdowns today. Now he's the Sun-Times Player of the Year. Right?
He was, and the leading all-time rusher in the history of state of Illinois.
Got about 22,000 yards this year, something like that.
Broke all my records. Real early in his career, I think his freshman year. Might have been in the second game of his freshman year, as a matter of fact.
Timeout situation with 45 seconds to go. Harrisburg has only one, and they're 38 yards from any kind of a score. Drew Logan talking to his team. Logan really been effective both in quarterbacking and on that option. So 4th and inches. Here we go again. And they give it to number 20, Chad Sanders. Rusty Posen meets him and will measure again. Dare we say he got enough yardage? He only needed about 18 inches.
I thought he got a good mark there. Yes, he did. First down.
So it is 1st and 10. We'll show you Sanders. Again, one of the running backs here have been pressed into service. 5'8", 185.
Right there, he's just the lead blocker. Didn't do much for him, and he got that kind of on his own.
3 receivers right. Logan throws it
double
across
pass,
the field.
wide open.
Styles has got a man all alone. Touchdown! Patton Seagraves from Steven Styles. It was time for the special play, 37 yards. And Kaneland got a wake-up call right there. Patrick Seagraves all alone, and the sure hands of Steven Styles. Watch here.
Throws it backwards, which is just basically a lateral. That's why he is able to throw the ball again. Steve Styles catches it like a lateral. And right here, coming from across the field, he makes the big catch, and the big touchdown catch put him back in the ball game.
Well, a little bit of
double pass.
I don't know who that was over there, but we've seen a few trick plays today, and most of them have worked. So here is Scott Way trying to add the extra point with Seagraves holding. It is up. It is good. So with 28 seconds left to go in the first half, Harrisburg has come to life. A 38-yard pass, double pass, has put the Bulldogs on the board, 17-7. And very quickly, Scott Way will change cleats for the kickoff.
As dominating as Kaneland has been in the first half, this is really a motivational situation for Al Way to go into halftime, that he'll be able to talk to his Bulldogs in there and tell them they're back in the ball game, that it's not true domination yet, and they've got to come up with some big plays in the second half, but that was a big play for them, just to get on the board and of course to go in with the momentum of having scored the last touchdown.
17-7, and there is Seagraves. You see where the ball is. Might we see an onside kick as DeArmond squibs it, and
turned out that way.
Yeah, some sure hands up front. Number 46 for Mike Lemmer for Kaneland, a junior running back linebacker, making sure, coaches like that, make sure, nothing fancy, just stay there, get the ball.
Well, Kaneland is capable certainly of going up top for the big play, so they might take 4 shots at it here.
That's what it looks like. They have 3 receivers out, actually 4 in the pass.
hook and
Complete the old hook and ladder, and look at Schrader. Anything you can do, I can try too. Well, this place is buzzing.
The old hook and ladder or flea flicker, whichever is in your vocabulary. He just throws it to a curl route right here. And then the back you can see coming right out. The corner, number 3, jumped the curl route. And then out of the backfield comes Schrader with the old flea flicker, hook and ladder.
So the completion to Fleck, the lateral to Schrader, and they're down on the 16-yard line with 18 seconds to go. This is wonderful. It's great stuff.
They don't do this on Sunday.
They should. And Schrader, again, is so versatile. We watch him run inside, slant off tackle, use traps. And there he's got the good hands on the hook and ladder, and they are 16 yards from another score, and really a shot through the heart of Harrisburg if they can convert on this.
Joe Thorgerson, again, as we mentioned earlier, talked about what great athletes he had on this team on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, and they certainly have shown us that tonight.
Al Way giving his team a heads up. That really was a jolt. You know, you score, you're finally on the board, you're somewhat relieved, and you have that maybe that little letdown. And a smart play by Joe Thorgerson, figuring Harrisburg might be vulnerable, and they certainly were. Offset eye, 1st and 10. Delaney looking into the end zone. And nicely broken up by Scott Way. Intended for P.J. Fleck.
Fleck ran a post flag. He broke inside and then he broke outside. Now you can see he's looking at him the whole time. That little pump fake was on the inside break, and now he's going back outside, and the ball is just underthrown. Nice job by Scott Way.
If you watch Delaney, he's throwing off his back foot.
He really is. That's why he's not getting anything on the ball. If he had gone over the top, there might have been a chance for Fleck.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers right. Fleck goes in motion. Delaney again, the straight drop. And this time he had West and overshoots him. And Way is injured. He turned that left ankle. He's trying to walk it off.
That ball was delivered about 3 yards sooner. They had 6 more points. Schrader gets right in the seam on the other side away from Fleck, and they just go right down here, to Ryan West, and he had thrown it about 2 yards sooner. He would have had 6.
And Way just caught his left foot in the turf as he went down. He's staying in there. 3rd down now, 8 seconds to go. Wentz to the right, Fleck in motion. Delaney goes over the middle this time, and it's complete. Touchdown, Kaneland, P.J. Fleck.
Great throw by Delaney.
Oh, man, on the money.
And he had to turn to his left and snap his shoulders around and get his feet around and make that throw. A very difficult throw for any high school quarterback. Just watch the mechanics right here. You can see he's thrown off his back foot, but he puts the ball right on the money. And a great catch by P.J. Fleck.
You got to watch. You know, look real closely if we see that again. That ball almost came out, may have touched the ground.
Great catch.
Glad with the extra point. Down and good.
Now the momentum swings back to Kaneland.
24-7.
Thought Harrisburg had something going for itself there going into halftime, but Kaneland really is going with the daggers.
Take a look here real close now as he loses. Well, he's in.
He's in. He crossed the line. But that's great concentration. But one of the reasons a kid like that's able to do that, he's a 3-sport all-conference player. Last year as a sophomore, he was all-conference in football, basketball, and track. And here he is this year as a junior making all-state. That was his 61st catch of the year and his 11th touchdown. That is quite an athlete out there, P.J. Fleck.
Matt Hancock for Harrisburg came off limping, the linebacker and offensive lineman. So with 4 seconds to go, Glad will tee it up. Joe Thorgerson
still coaching.
Absolutely. Talking to Ryan West. Glad just a 3-step attempt here. Probably won't want to kick it too deep, and he doesn't. Just gets it in play. Taken by Chad Sanders, and that will do it for the first half. So lots of fireworks here in the final minute. Both teams go to the locker room, and Kaneland very much in command in an exciting first half, 24-7. Well, that last minute was certainly worth the price of admission, Jack. Double pass, hook and ladder. Gee, can the Statue of Liberty be next?
You know, and the funny thing is, you don't spend a lot of time working on those plays. You work on all the other plays that haven't been working. And you go to a trick play, and it looks like you've spent the entire year working on them.
Well, those are fun. Those are kind you draw in the sand or on the AstroTurf. Let's go down on the field with Tyrell Joyner. DJ.
All right, guys, we're here with Coach Way. And Coach, after coming back and scoring that touchdown, that hook and ladder that they threw at you late had to be the dagger for the first half.
Well, you know, you got to hope your kids have a little common sense, and we knew they had to throw the ball. I mean, if we go to a 4, our backer's supposed to walk off and, you know, double cover on 10, and he doesn't do it, and we get, you know, hooked on a trick play, and you just got to have kids that understand the game, and unfortunately, we didn't understand the game on that play, and we got burned. You got to give them credit. I mean, they're a heck of a ball club. You know, we're having a hard time running the ball at them, and that's what we do well is run the football. They're very quick, they're very physical, and their quarterback is one heck of an athlete. He just keeps finding the open receiver.
The adjustments you need to make at halftime, what do you tell the team going into the second half?
Well, we've got to be able to move the ball offensively. Defensively, our people just simply aren't staying home on our pass coverage. I mean, I don't know how we got beat on that slant on the goal line down there, you know. But again, if we can't move the ball offensively, it really doesn't make any difference what we do defensively. We've got to get a better pass rush. Right now, we're not putting much pressure on him, and you know, the screen pass they ran, we'd prepared for, and we didn't get it covered. It's just unfortunate that, you know, we could have played better than what we did, but you got to give them a lot of credit. They're an awful good football team.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. All right, that concludes the first half of this ball game, 24-7 right now. We're coming back with more during the halftime of this game.
Kaneland leading. Well, we got that backwards, don't we? It's 24-7 with Kaneland leading over Harrisburg. And Jack, it certainly was entertaining on both ends of the half, especially.
They pulled everything out right at the end. We saw all the trick plays and all the special plays, and it was an exciting ball game. Those are the things you don't practice, but those seem to be the things that have been working.
Well, Harrisburg has got a problem. You know, their running attack is injury prone. They are big. There's a lot more mobility on the Kaneland side. Kaneland has seen that you know, Harrisburg is vulnerable.
Well, we're in a situation where, unfortunately, Harrisburg comes into the ball game, the biggest game in the school's history, with not all their firepower. They've got injured running backs. That's their forte. They're very limited in being able to throw the ball, and now they got their back against the wall.
You know, when Dyrol was talking to Al Way, you could tell how frustrated the coach was. You know, if it came as a surprise to all of us, that hook and ladder play, it certainly did not come as a surprise to him. As he said, you have to know how to play the game, and at that point, we didn't know how.
Well, 16 and 17-year-old kids down in a big game, they'll remember this when they're, you know, when they're a lot older and when they're they're telling the stories of their grandchildren. Right now, they kind of forgot where they were, and Al Way was a little frustrated.
Well, he also knows, though, that his team can move on Kaneland, and those big bodies can function. So it should be a couple of interesting adjustments made in the second half.
Well, he did a real good job with the option, and that can open up an offense, and I think that they'll come back, seeing the success of that. They might come back and maybe try and throw the ball a little bit, but run more option.
There's another issue, too, and that is number 28, Uriah Moss. When they got him going and Moss got his rhythm, he showed some moves, he showed some speed, he showed some resiliency. We probably will see a lot more of him in the second half.
Well, if you and I know about that, so does Kaneland.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those linebackers are going to be keying in on him, and he might have a tough second half trying to get going.
That's why you are the big analyst that you are. We hope you're enjoying this. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll have an interview with Darrell Van Schouwen of the Sun-Times. Kaneland ahead. Back at halftime, the 3A championship. Let's go down on the field. We've got Dyrol and Darrell.
You got it, Mike. We're with Darrell Van Schouwen of the Chicago Sun-Times, a beat writer for the high school situation here at the playoffs. First question, this is one of the best games I've seen so far as the offensive prowess. We've seen a lot of great plays and a lot of fancy plays, to say the least.
Yeah, big performance so far by Fleck, one of 3 Sun-Times All-Staters. from Kaneland. He's been all over the field on offense and defense. On offense, he catches the first pass for 28 yards. He makes the first TD reception, fumbles a punt. After fumbling a punt, he makes the key stop on 4th down. He's playing both ways. He was on the key end of that the hitch and ladder play, and then he scored the big touchdown at the end of the half. So he's been impressive, to say the least.
Now, you follow high school for the past several years. What about a lot of these players that go both ways? You said earlier that the 1A, 2A, and 3A, you'll see more of that there as opposed to the 4 and 5A and 6A.
Right. The smaller schools have smaller talent pools from which to draw their players from. So, the coaches are basically forced into getting their best athletes on the field on both sides of the ball. So that means they have to play in both ways. And it takes its toll, I think, toward the end of the game. But that's what you see at the 1A, 2A, 3A levels. You will see, however, in the 6A championship game tomorrow, Addison Trail plays quite a few kids both ways, too. And that's just the coach's philosophy. The risk there is the fatigue factor at the end of the game.
Now, you say the talent pool may not be as great as some of the bigger schools, but that still does not negate the fact that a lot of these players out here tonight we may see on the next level, the college level.
Right, and a lot of kids here are playing. This is going to be their last football game, and a lot of them don't. A lot of them are hoping that maybe it won't be, that they can go on to the next level and play. This is their last chance to get a look-see from some of the college scouts that are here. They don't care whether they go to Iowa, whether they go to a MAC-type school, or whether they go to Division III. They just want to keep playing football.
That's some great football, to say the least, tonight. We've got much more coming up here on Sports Channel. Thank you very much, Darryl, and enjoy yourself tonight as well as tomorrow. We've got much more halftime festivities coming your way. The score right now, 24-7. We'll be right back after we pause for the cause.
Before we get going into the second half, you see Kaneland leading Harrisburg, the 3A championship, 24-7. Jack, we've got some, shall we say, interesting highlights to show. Let's take a look. First of all, first quarter, again, the first drive. It's happened all day. The kicking team, once it gets the ball, its first offensive series, leads to a score. Eric Delaney, the quarterback.
Nice job of running the option here. He plays among superstars, but tonight he's been a star in his own right.
And after that, down from the 13-yard line, Delaney on the rollout to P.J. Fleck.
Gets right in between the two safeties, 6 points.
They've got an all-state kicker, Matt Glad, who added the point after, and here from 37 yards, right between the uprights, 10-0.
Everybody's getting into the act tonight.
Good defense, too, as Matt Glad celebrates gladly. Second quarter action now with P.J. Fleck. Again, he's all-state defensively as well as offensively.
Well, he's also an all-conference basketball player. You can see right there, he goes up for a rebound and comes down with an interception.
Now the fun starts. The double pass, Steven Stiles to Patton Seagraves.
Well, these are the things that we draw up in the sand, as you like to say, Mike, and it turned out to be a nice big touchdown.
Well, this one right back after the kickoff. We know this, the old hook and ladder.
Again, drawn up in the sand, and another big play for Kaneland. We thought that Harrisburg had the momentum, but not now.
The conventional look in here for another score.
Nice catch by P.J. coming down with the touchdown catch.
So it's 24-7, and take a look at the passing yardage for Harrisburg. Well, we knew they didn't pass much, but not at all.
Well, the big thing is that Kaneland obviously is dominating the game. They just have so many outstanding athletes out there, but they're dominating the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Well, let's check in with DJ and Coach Joe Thorgeson.
All right, Coach, right now you're up 24-7, but you said you're not totally happy with the output that you guys had to do in the first half.
Well, I wasn't happy with the last drive that they scored. I thought we were leaving our feet tackling. They're very dangerous running the ball. You cannot take a step back or get complacent because it's real hard to find that ball with that full house.
And their running game picked up late in the half, but I got to give you credit. That hook and ladder looked pretty when you called it.
Well, kids made a play. You know, that's just, you try to hit it. It was, we got the ball at midfield, and we weren't too deep in our territory. We went for it and hit it.
Last question here. What do you tell the kids about the second half? Do you stay the course or what?
Stay the course. We keep aggressive, and our defense has to step up. They got to score 3 times, so they're capable of doing that. We got to play tough this half.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, back up to the booth. Mike, Jack. Better yet, we're going to go to a commercial, and we're coming right back. We'll be right back with the second half.
Overlooking Hancock Stadium, I'm Mike Lederman along with Jack McInerney, Dave Turner, our Sports Channel crew. The 3A championship game, second half about set. Stanley DeArmond for Harrisburg in purple on your left, getting set to kick off to Kaneland on the right. At the 15, Schrader just short of the 30. 15-yard return, and Kaneland will be in business. Scott Way tripped him up. And we'll see what the offense for the Knights can do. They finished with a flourish in the first half. The touchdown following the hook and ladder, following the double pass for a Harrisburg touchdown. So Eric Delaney leads them out. From their own 29-yard line. In the eye. West in motion. Schrader, the tailback, on the pitch. And Schrader turning it up, big yardage. Once again, Schrader and wrestled down inside the 45-yard line. Scott Way makes the stop after a 27-yard run. And Kyle Schrader at 5'11", 185, doing it again.
Well, the key block was right up here, was a crackback block, which allowed him to get to the corner. And then after that, it was just outstanding running on Kyle Schrader's part. But the crackback block at the top of the screen early was the big key on that particular play.
I think it was Ryan West who took out two Harrisburg Bulldogs. First down from the 44. And well, you can call it the old crossbuck, if you will. And the ball is on the ground. Ruled dead by contact. Brown making the stop as West carried for short yardage.
Same sequence, he came back in motion, and then instead of cracking, kept on coming right through here. You can see it's a trap, but what happens is it was a great job by number 73 of stuffing that trap man. Matt Wright, number 73, did a great job defensively stopping that play.
Two receivers right, one left. Delaney. Quick slant. On the out pattern. Close to a first down to P.J. Fleck. Scott Way on the stop.
You know, I'm really impressed with the quarterback, Eric Delaney. There's so much coming into the game with Ryan West and Schrader and Fleck, but Delaney is really the glue that holds this group together. He's really shown great poise tonight, made some big plays when they needed him to keep drives going. He's been very impressive.
About 2 yards short of a first down. Josh Miller splits left. And the quick pop again to Schrader. And Schrader looks to be close to the first down. Jonathan Brown bringing him down, but the chains will be moved. Opening drive of the second half, 24-7. The folks in white, the Knights of Kaneland, leading Harrisburg. They scored on their first drive in the first half, and they're moving here. Down to the 33. McCowan split left now. Wentz out right. Three receivers right. Delaney lets it go. And overthrown, intended for Fleck with Way on the coverage. And Way had him like a blanket.
Outstanding defensive pressure by Scott Way. This was going to be a curl or an out and go. You can see the pump fake, the little movement right there. Throws the ball up. Scott Way never bit on the fake and did a nice job there of coverage. He has his hands full playing P.J. Fleck. Just a good job of positioning right there, not allowing Fleck to get to the ball, because as we've seen earlier in the first half, anything he can get to, he has usually caught.
Again, Miller to the left, two receivers right from the eye. That's West in motion.
Middle screen again.
And this time it is intended for West. Jonathan Brown, as the ball was thrown low, bounced in front of him, and Brown made sure there was not going to be a completion.
Sequence, they ran a counter trap with Ryan West coming before, and right now it was the same look, the same flow, and they run the screen pass to him, just a little bit underthrown. Eric Delaney got a little more pressure than he was ready to take, and that was a nice job by Jonathan Brown breaking up the play.
What a shot. Single back in the backfield, four receivers. Delaney this time goes left and looking on the slant for McCowan, but overshoots him. And it'll be 4th down. Seagraves on the coverage.
Excellent position by Seagraves, taking away that slant. He had a little inside shade, and as soon as the movement came inside, he just squeezed it down a little bit and did a real nice job of playing that slant.
Well, on 4th down from the 33, you can see they're going for it. Delaney looking for McCowan, and this one, no chance, way out of bounds. Once again, Scott Way over on the right side, the left corner, well in position, but the ball uncatchable. So they run out of downs. Joe Thorgerson talking to McCowan maybe about that route.
Well, he's not giving his quarterback any room for error. He's squeezing the sideline so much that the ball has to be right on the money. There's no drift factor, as we say in coaching. He should be running that right down on between the sideline and the numbers, so he's got room to make moves as far as where the quarterback throws it. He's running so close to the sideline, there's nowhere to go but right into the cheerleaders.
So now Harrisburg opens up the formation. Single back with 3 receivers right, and they give it inside. And it is Tomko, and he's dragged down by Schrader along with Posen. They check it with West. And Tomko tries the middle and gets some decent yardage.
Just a nice isolation. The tackle was coming too far up the field. They didn't block him, and they walled off the inside with a double team on the center and the guard on the nose man. It was a nice job of running the veer by Adam Tomko.
Now they go back to the full house, trailing 24-7. The end's in tight. And Logan hands off. Again, short yardage, stopped by Luke Peterson.
Depends on the mark here whether he got a 1st down or not. Yes, he did.
Gabe Porti moves the chains. Under 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Again, the 4A game coming up right after this. Brian Davis and Al Harris will bring it all to you. 1st and 10. Logan with time.
Ooh.
And down goes the receiver, Seagraves, looking for a flag.
There was no, oftentimes the fans misconstrue what interference is. That was definitely not interference.
They were both going for the ball and got their legs tangled. Let's see it again.
They're trying to run a delay, the back and a delay up the seam, which is coming in right here, but they just get tied up. Their feet get tied up and down they go. The ball's overthrown, but it was definitely not interference. Good call by the officials, or non-call.
Wen's the closest to it for Kaneland. Seagraves comes in with a play. Time clock already down, the play clock already down to 9, so they better hurry to get this off.
And they've got too many people on the field here.
Rivers comes off, 3, 2, and they don't do it. And he was looking right at the play clock and saw it go to 0 as Drew Logan boy, that gets a coach more than a little ticked.
Well, especially this is the only advantage in high school football. There's no play clocks, but when you're down here playing for the Big Apple, they've got the play clocks on either end of the end zones, and you're looking right at it. So there really is no reason not to get that play off.
So the numbers for Logan: 3 for 6 in the air for 36 yards, a TD and an interception, but that wasn't his TD. That was from Stiles. Logan again throwing deep over the middle, intended for Moss. In amongst a pack of Knights, Aaron Siebens defending.
Kaneland had that defense extremely well. The secondary didn't bite on any of the movement. They try to run this wingman, number 22, out in the flat. Linebacker sits there. The safety never budged here. He was here the whole time, as you can see him right there. He never got moved out of there by the formation or the routes. And that's a big hit there for Drew Logan.
Looks like Brad Thill got it. Now a 3rd and 16. In tight. Again, Logan. This time flips it out to the screen intended for Rivers. Incomplete. Schrader on the coverage. It'll be 4th down.
Kaneland is really playing an outstanding ball game. Both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. When you can't go up the field, sometimes you want to throw the screen or a draw, and here it's just so well defensed. They just sniffed it right out. I think realizing that the Bulldogs of Harrisburg don't throw the ball down the field that often. They're looking for the screens and the draws in those long yardage situations.
Tomko to punt. West and Fleck. And
bad snap. Oh, he
Tomko
just missed him.
Does get it off, and
Great
what a job
job
he did to do that. And this is a good kick. Well, let's see where it went out of bounds.
Talk about a great play by Tomko. See the high snap right here. He barely gets a hold of that, and then just right there is the missed tackle and just outstanding athleticism to get that kick off.
Well, Schrader had the shot at him. The ball goes out of bounds, and whatever yardage they get certainly was a heck of a lot better than it could have been. 25 yards, no return. And once again, Kaneland goes to work from its own 36-yard line. From the eye, Fleck in motion. And the give. Schrader working from the tailback spot now. Stopped by Jonathan Brown after a short gain. Again, Schrader will be the up back, will be the full back, will be the tailback, he'll be split. A lot of variety here. And Jack, I just can't believe what the weather has been all day. Temperatures hovering close to 60. They call this tournament the Four Seasons, at least I do, because you can't get them all in one day. But today it has been the closest to summer that we've seen. The rain that we had in the morning has abated, the fog has lifted, and it is an absolutely glorious night.
Shirt sleeve weather. We certainly have had everything from snowstorms, windstorms, ice.
Yeah, and sometimes all in one day.
I have to bring it. I don't bring a suitcase down here. I pull a trailer.
That's right.
Because I don't know what to wear.
Steamer trunk. 2nd down and 9. Delaney runs that option, and he gets up across the 40. That's true. The trunk of my car looks like a rummage sale.
I was going to say you're dating yourself. Steamer trunk.
Well, I saw Titanic last night. It was in the Macy's parade. Okay.
Okay.
And they were doing some of that. And our cameramen, of course, they're out in the elements. They have to bring. Here, you want to date yourself? Admiral Perry gear for their North Pole attempts, but they had some suntan oil up there. 3rd and 4. And this time it goes to the tailback, and guess who the tailback is? Yep.
Comes up about 2 yards short. He's a workhorse, all right.
Schrader.
They have a nice, Mike, a nice nucleus coming back. Delaney's coming back. Here's a good look at Schrader right here on the isolation, just going right up the middle. Comes up a little short, but he'll be coming back. Delaney, the quarterback, will be coming back. They've got a nice nucleus of skill kids coming back. Fleck is coming back.
And McCowan for one of the rare punts today for Kaneland. Rivers and Seagraves are deep. This is Rivers at his own 15. Gets to the 20 and breaks several tackles near the 30-yard line. Hurst brings him down, and a good return by Deke Rivers. So when we come back after that 40-yard punt, 14-yard return, Harrisburg will try to get something going here. 3rd quarter, they trail 24-7. 5 minutes, 59 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Some of the Kaneland fans have made the trip down. And Harrisburg with the ball. And Drew Logan tries to run the option, and this time he is dragged down. Once again, coming up from his safety position, Luke Peterson making the stop for a loss.
Well, it's easy to play the option when you don't have to worry about the pass. Earlier in the first half, they did a nice job running the option, Drew Logan early, but now it looks like they have their responsibilities down pat. That was the safety coming up, He's the inside man running the alley that takes the quarterback. Did a nice job.
Loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12. Single back. And quickly they go to Moss. And Jariah Moss taken down by Posen and Siebens as he gets to the 30-yard line, gets back basically what they lost, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
It's amazing how fast they get to the football. We talked about that in the first half, but Kaneland really does a nice job. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good play right here, but all of a sudden 1, 2, 3 defensive players from Kaneland come into the picture. They really swarm to the football. They get there quickly.
And again, he's throwing off the crown down to the lower part of the field, and you saw Moss had to go up to get that ball. It's something that these teams are not used to, not playing on turf. Here's the pitch. It will do a double reverse. Scott Way, who throws lefty, throws it, and in and out of the hands of Seagraves. Once again, the old flea flicker, or whatever you want to call it, and that one Seagraves had and dropped. Fleck on the coverage, but Seagraves, the normally sure-handed Patton Seagraves, let this one go.
Well, again, you're going to the well. He's throwing the ball left-handed here, and he's going downhill. Fleck tries to make the big interception. Had he missed that interception or knocking it down, it was 6 points that had been caught. And Kaneland again comes out smelling like a rose.
Well, Patton Seagraves, again, a versatile player. His dad is one of the coaches on the staff here, and certainly is doing all he can to keep his team in it. And a punting situation on 4th and 10 from the 30. Tomko will kick it away. This time he gets a decent snap and gets a good kick into the wind. West, and he hands it off to P.J. Fleck. Oh. That goes nowhere. The ball is loose. Down it goes, and it looks like Siebens. No, it wasn't Siebens. It was Luke Peterson coming up with it. And again, folks are just getting flea flicker crazy. 42-yard punt with a -3 return.
Here's a reverse right here, hoping that Harrisburg is going to be flying to the ball, and right here could have been a real big play for Harrisburg. Little trickery goes sour for him.
Jack, you wonder what you have to gain on a play like that. What's the upside on that kind of...
Well, it wasn't really run very well. I mean, if they would have had Harrisburg flying to the football, he would have had the sideline, but it didn't work out that
way. Here is Schrader. And Kyle Schrader, we've seen him pop this quick hitter so often. Simpson drags him down, a gain of 16. Scott Way on the assist. Way has been bothered by that ankle that he injured early in the late in the first half.
You can see right here a great job up front by the offensive line, especially Adam Wallace, the center, number 75. 5'10", 185-pound senior, does a great job on the middle linebacker, and that allows Schrader to make the big run.
Well, that's only about 1/3 of his night, 106 yards rushing. He's done just about everything else on both sides of the ball. There he goes again. And another big gain just across midfield, short of the 40-yard line. They'll move the change. Kyle Schrader stopped by Clint Simpson. And another 16-yard pickup.
Again, the offensive line, just a dive. You can see they're blocking down, and he goes straight ahead and then bounces out on an angle. The tackle came down. Myers and Hera did a nice job of double teaming on the left defensive side of Harrisburg, and that allowed Kyle Schrader to pop it out for a big gainer.
Schrader comes out after the 16-yard pickup. The ball at the 43-yard line of Harrisburg. Delaney this time gives it to West. And West gets some more yardage past the first down marker inside the 30 to about the 27. Simpson again, the secondary making the tackles, and that's not what you want to have happen. 14 yards on the pickup.
Just a trap again, a double team with the kick out. This is a combination of excellent blocking up front, but also outstanding running by Ryan West. Good second effort, keeping his feet and moving the ball north and south.
Well, they've got 3 All-Staters on this team. West and P.J. Fleck are a couple of them. And they are producing tonight. Again, they go inside, and this one is stopped with West gaining a yard or 2. Nathan Lawrence, the down lineman, 6'3", 200-pound senior. And number 86, Brandon McIntosh at 6'3", 220. There's McIntosh. 16 first downs for Kaneland, only 7 for Harrisburg. Al Way giving his defense some signals. Under 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Kaneland driving here. So far we have had no score in the second half. 2nd and 8. Again they go up the middle. Again for short yardage. And for the first time, it looked like Ian Thomas, number 19, 5'9", senior running back, gets a carry. And he takes it inside the 25. There's the clock. 2 minutes and counting down here in the third quarter. Josh Miller split to the left. P.J. Fleck on the right. And the flip this time to Wenz. And Sean Wenz trying to get away, and he'll get down to the 20-yard line. He'll be short.
Real good second effort there by Sean Wenz. And I think what happens, once they're inside the 40, Joe Thorgerson just believes it's 4-down territory for him. You can see right here, he just releases out of the backfield. But here's a real good effort right here. 2, 3 people hitting him, and he's still, and there's the fourth person, he still ends up getting 6 yards.
4th and 2. A short 2. And Kaneland going for it. They give it to Schrader, and Schrader's got it, and more. Brought down by the right side of the Harrisburg line, led by Deke Rivers coming up from the secondary, and Jason Daniil, the linebacker. Well, Schrader's just doing it and churning it out.
Well, it's really the offensive line right here. You can see Keith Snyder and Adam Wallace just coming off the ball, and they're double teaming on Matt Hancock. And just a good job of hard running, but also the offensive line right now is just dominating. You can see the surge. You can see where the ball ends up and where the blue shirts end up compared to the white shirts.
Schrader scored 2 touchdowns each in the semi and quarterfinal. He had a fumble recovery in the quarters and a rushing touchdown and a pass catch in the semis. This is West. Didn't get much there. Final seconds of the third quarter. You're taking a look at Nathan Lawrence in there on the stop for Harrisburg. 15 seconds to go. 9th play of the drive, and they will just let the clock run. So we come to the end of the third quarter. No score here in the third, but Kaneland in command on its way to a 3A state championship. Fourth quarter action ready to begin. Mike Liederman along with Jack McInerney. Dyrol Joyner along the sidelines. And Kaneland up 24-7, driving at the Harrisburg 16. Kyle Schrader inside the 15 to the 13 on second down. That'll bring up a 3rd and long. Matt Hancock, the linebacker, making the stop for the Bulldogs.
On that last play, they brought Rusty Posen out of the slot, number 55, the linebacker. Brought him out and tried to isolate him up on the linebackers.
Well, look at those statistics. In this case, they don't lie. It has been all Kaneland's way. So a 3rd and 7, again, 2-down territory, and they use Posen. There he is, number 55, sort of the elephant backfield. They pitch it to West, and West close to a first down. Nice effort by Ryan West. And he may be there. Deke Rivers leading the tackling.
Power eye shown one way, and they come back with the option to the other side. Nice job of lead blocking right there by Schrader. And the pitch to Ryan West, and they're close to a first down.
Chains are coming out.
We really, Mike, have seen a lot of different formations with personnel in a lot of different places. Very difficult team to scout and prepare for, not only just by formation, but where they put the personnel. There's no giveaway where somebody is at as to what play they're going to run.
Well, it's 4th down and just a little bit. Tomorrow night, the Bulls look for revenge against the team that handed them their only loss at the United Center this season. Michael Jordan on the Bulls go up against Chris Webber and the Washington Wizards. Starts with the game room at 6, tip-off at 6:30. Right here on Sports Channel. Right here, 4th and less than 1 from the 8. Wedging him out, Delaney, and he's got it with plenty to spare.
Again, Eric Delaney showing his leadership, but running behind big senior center Adam Wallace, 185 pounds. That's had an outstanding game. He's going right in behind Wallace, and you can see Keith Snyder, the left guard, 220 pounds, blocking down, wedging out that front of Harrisburg's.
206 rushing yards for Kaneland, only 85 for the Bulldogs. So 1st and goal from the 5. They come in with that power eye now, and they give it to West, to the 3. Stopped by Simpson. Ryan West, All-State, 3-year starter. Boy, everybody's having a career game tonight for Kaneland.
Well, there's nothing fancy in here. They're just saying that we're better than you up front, and they're running in between the tackles right now.
West's numbers really don't indicate the value he's been. From the 2. Schrader to the goal line. Not quite there. Simpson and company stopping him.
His offensive lineman sure thought he was in. The lineman did, but the officials didn't. A nice job right here by Wallace, and again by Brian Hara, the right tackle, but he comes up a little short. Good effort inside here.
Well, is it just delaying the inevitable? We shall find out. 9.5 minutes to go. 3rd and goal inside the 1. Touchdown, Kaneland. Ryan West
dives over the goal line a la Walter Payton.
WP. 9:21 left. Ryan West, his 20th rushing touchdown, 24 on the season, including a punt return. Matt Glad will happily put this one through for Kaneland. Not a doubt. They'll come back up the field. There's the signal. The Knights rolling along, 31-7.
Again, the offensive line just dominating. Good surge here and a big leap by Ryan West. He's able to get that 190 pounds up over the line of scrimmage and into the end zone.
Very happy bunch of Knights, very frustrated group of Bulldogs.
Again, we can see where good isolation block by Posen, and West gets up in the air and over that linebackers and that defensive line that was submarining and gets in for the score.
Our statistician Dave Bergson working along with us reminds us that they had 2 4th down attempts, successful on both on that extended drive for Kaneland. Joe Thorgerson checking something from the juice bar there.
Well, you get a little cotton mouth, but once you get 31 points on the board going in the 4th quarter, I think you can kind of relax a little bit. Not a lot, but enough for a
look
drink.
At that time. It took 7 minutes off the clock as Glad shoots this one down. And somebody better pick it up. That's a live ball. Deke Rivers finally falls on it at about the 22. But that one had trouble written all over it. You see it right there next to where it says Wilson? It said trouble written right over it.
I noticed that.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's very difficult to pick up the ball on the AstroTurf. It takes crazy bounces, so oftentimes teams are more apt to kick the ball, punch it through here because it just bounces so crazy on the AstroTurf.
Whoops, and there's a good case. Jariah Moss running with it before he had possession, and luckily his teammate Deke Rivers was there to fall on it. Be sure right there. So 1st and 10 from the 23, 9:15 to go. And they go to the ground with Moss. Again, short yardage, and Schrader and Hurst combined.
Moss comes up a little limping there.
Coming up lame. Actually, he had the bad wheel going into this, and they were worried about him playing at all, and he's played well.
Well, they've been a step away on a few plays, but it's been Kaneland's night. They've just got great team defensive speed, and they've been able to close down those holes.
Pick up a 3, and they pitch it to Moss. And he goes nowhere. Wenz wraps him up along with Posen.
Posen is really impressive. He has been very impressive the entire night. He just does a great job. You can see him right there reading and watch him slicing behind the blocker right here. Nice job of tackling by Rusty Posen. 5'9", 205-pound senior, player of the year in the Suburban Prairie Blue.
As we were talking earlier, these players are so versatile that Joe Thorgerson keeps running them in and out of the lineup on offense. He said, I want them to stay in on defense because that's where I need them more, and let them get their rest when we have the ball. So you've seen Posen on offense, you've seen Schrader on offense, but they're only in for a play or two on a series. And this one is complete out to Stanley DeArmond. And that is first down country. Luke Peterson on the coverage. Drew Logan, a well-thrown ball.
He's down, and they might get a roughing the quarterback here. I believe there's a flag here, but Drew Logan is down. Let's watch the setup and see where the hit comes. It might be right as he releases it, right there. Nice throw on the out. Nice throw, nice hit, first down, but he's down on the play.
Well, the backup quarterback is Patton Seagraves, who certainly hope nothing is seriously wrong with Drew Logan. Seagraves, who does just about everything. You see, he's may have just had the wind knocked out of him. We'll see if we get another look at it. I think it was Posen who was coming in from linebacker position. Al Way, I think, telling the official that seems to be okay, but
they got a nice mark off on that roughing the passer. Or they took the first down.
Right, it was added on after the first down, so they gained about 25 yards on that play with the penalty. You know, ball's all the way out to the 48.
When you go down on this AstroTurf, it doesn't give like that natural surface, and you can snap your head on the ground and be pounded into the ground. Hopefully he's just out for a play.
Well, Logan is coming off, and Al Way is talking to Patton Seagraves. Here are the numbers for Logan: 4 for 9. And he looks a little groggy. So Seagraves, it is expected, will be the man going under center. Let's check in with Dyrol.
All right, guys, Drew Logan just got the wind knocked out of him. Expect him to sit out one play, and he should be back in there.
Okay, good report. First down from the 48, full house backfield with Seagraves under center. And Seagraves runs the option and has few. Loses yardage, wrapped up. Once again, Peterson has made a living in the backfield for Kaneland.
Well, I think Al Way is a little frustrated here from the standpoint of there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do. His team is being dominated by Kaneland, and they're trying to run the option right here, which kind of spreads them out, but they are very disciplined and come up and make the big plays, and they do the job they're supposed to do. Luke Peterson coming up from his safety position. He's assigned to the quarterback, and he makes the play.
He's been feasting on that all evening. Loss of 4 from the 44, 2nd and 14. 3 receivers left. Slot man, single backfield, and guess what? It'll be a delay against Logan and Harrisburg.
Dead ball. Delay. Purple. Repeat. Second down.
I think Seagraves is a little confused as to whether he was supposed to be on the line of scrimmage or he was supposed to be the slot and back off the ball, and that confusion led to the delay.
Cost them 5. Tomorrow here on Sports Channel, more IHSA action coming up. Rock Island Woodstock, the 5A championship starting at noon, and then we'll be back, Jack and I, to bring you the big one. Addison Trail and Lincoln Way. Will Lincoln Way come through? They got to the final last year, lost to Wheaton Warrenville. Meanwhile, Jonathan Brown jumps offside. And the Knights of Lincoln Way are primed for a 6A title.
Lots of firepower on that field on that tomorrow in that 6A game.
Yeah, Addison Trail has been the Cinderella story all playoffs long. Penalty situation. Kaneland a couple of big mark-offs, and Harrisburg with more in number. Boy, Addison Trail winning over Naperville Central before that. Overtime against Palatine. They can beat anybody, they think.
I tried to give Paul Parpet some money to buy me some lottery tickets. I mean, he has really been the man to be near.
And going through and getting some yardage up to the 40. Adam Tomko, who hasn't made a lot of noise here. They have certainly had his number. Schrader and West corralling Tomko.
Well, as we mentioned earlier in the show, with the injuries to the other two, Josh Hodge, for example, they've been able to zero in on Tomko and
held him to 14 yards. This is a team, Harrisburg, and this is a statistic we had to check. They were averaging over 300 yards on the ground this season and over 350 during the playoffs. Now just think about that. Teams are lucky to come up with that in total yardage. Well, in this case, it's usually total yardage, and down goes Moss with a necktie tackle. Was that Brad Thill?
Brad Thill, 6'5", 240 pounds, airborne. Watch him come right in here, 6'5", 240.
Woo! Brad Thill, again, we told you, transferred from Aurora Christian, where he played on the basketball team. This is his first varsity season, or first year in organized football of any kind. And Joe Thorgerson is only sad that he's not going to have him for another couple of years to work with him.
Well, athletes or basketball players are usually pretty good athletes, and he showed us that in that particular play.
So at 4th and 20, Tomko will kick it away. Schrader may have gotten a little piece of it, and this one comes down, and they'll let it run. Seagraves knocks it out of bounds at the 32. So in command after the 31-yard punt, Kaneland will return to the offense when we come back. 5:10 to go. (31-7). The crowd here in Hancock Stadium as Kaneland in command and with the ball. Nothing fancy. They give it to Ryan West. Again for short yardage. Well, if you look back on Joe Thorgerson's record, it is deceptively, if you will, mediocre. You know, they were always in large conferences with schools like Morris, as you said, and they would go 3-6, 4-5, or maybe one game above 500. Then when this new conference was made, all of a sudden the little kids were getting kicked around with the big boys on the block, and they have done extremely well, and it will in all probability culminate tonight with a state championship. West coming around again on the well, we call that the old crossbuck, huh, Jack?
We in the coaching fraternity never doubted Joe Thorgerson's coaching ability. It's just that they were in a very difficult league for all those years, and things just started coming together for them the last few years. 8-3 last year, 9-2 in '95, and as it looks, 14-0 this year. Joe's done a great job, and they finally got into their class as far as size.
3rd and 2. Power I formation, and the ball is loose, and Delaney falls on it. Let's check in with Darrell Joyner.
In defeat, the Bulldogs do remain unified. Several games ago, going into the playoffs, several members of the team all shaved their heads, as well as shaved 4 stripes in their eyebrows to indicate the 4 games they would need to win the championship. Although they're losing right now 31-7, they still remain united. Despite winning or losing, this team is one, and they will stand and fall as one. Back to you guys up in the booth.
Well, it certainly is a fashion look.
I don't know about you, but I don't know if my eyebrows are thick enough to take 4 slashes in them.
And the punt out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 24 yards, and with 3 minutes, 3 seconds to go, Harrisburg will do it. You know, moms have to put up with so much at this stage, don't they? Get the kids want to draw things on their arms or paint their faces. And these look like conventional kids. But then you go with something like that.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's taking Rodman lessons. And
some interesting choices in hairstyles.
And nothing there but the burns. Here come the Bulldogs, and they've got one touchdown. That came at the end of the first half. Let's see what they can do here as the second half closes down. Over the middle and juggled by Seagraves. Fleck on the coverage.
Good throw by Logan. It was right on the money. Seagraves just couldn't hang on to it. You can see Drew Logan here dropping back, turns his feet, gets a nice throw right up the field, right on the money. Pretty tight coverage, but the ball still should have been caught.
Caught it right on the Redbird.
There's Fleck waving up at us here, pointing to you, Mike.
Absolutely, saying I got him.
He is a heck of an athlete, and he is only a junior.
2:58 now. Back to the full house. And Logan hands it off, and Deke Rivers thrown back behind the line. Once again, Luke Peterson.
Peterson's been very active for a defensive back, and of course, because of the passing game situation, he's just running the alley right here, coming up inside underneath the cornerback. The cornerback turns him in. He runs the alley and makes the big play. Luke Peterson, a senior, 5'10", 165.
Long day for Drew Logan. Was shaken up on the last series. Still giving it his all. 3rd and 12. Straight back.
Double coverage.
And intended for Moss, but overthrown and out of bounds. Wentz and West both there, so it'll be 4th down with 2:11 left on the clock. Tomko is going back in punt formation. And West and Fleck will be back in deep safety.
Got an excellent crowd here for this game. We had a good crowd for this, and of course with the big 4A game after this, we're getting a full house down here.
Good kick, sailing deep. This one could go all the way to the end zone or the coffin corner, and boy did he find it. Out of bounds at the 3. Well, a little late, but you couldn't ask for a better punt. 57 yards, no return.
Kickers on Sunday can't do that.
As well we know. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to go, and backed up against their own goal line. Kaneland, there's Tomko, and there's a couple of unhappy Bulldogs. Boy, look at that. There's a whole Bulldog family. They look more like Shar-Pays, I think.
I was going to say it looked like a blind date I had in high school, but...
Oh, my gosh. And a nice breakout run by West. Ryan West gets him out of danger. Not that there's much of a problem. Scott Way, who's played a fine game in the defensive backfield, making the stop.
Well, right here again, big splits doubling down. Just a power formation, and he just bangs it up inside. And they've been doing this the entire evening. The offensive line just dominating Harrisburg's defensive line.
Clock running at 1:45 to go. 31-7. That's the story right there. Kaneland dominating from the get-go. Inside handoff. Now it's just let it end. Ian Thomas picks up a few yards. Clint Simpson there. Once again, we want to thank our spotters, Kelly Glass for Harrisburg, Dennis Hansen for Kaneland, and of course Brian Dyer, who's been here all day and will be doing the 4A game as well. Done yeoman work along with our statistician David Berkson. Of course, our outstanding crew led by Dave Turner, calling the shots back in the truck. And there, let's see, did they give him that mandatory shower? Well, they did. Joe got the water. And we have 43 seconds left.
Great year right there for Joe Thurgeson and the staff. 14 wins. Great year.
The emotions flow, and the clock ticks.
For a lot of people, that's a once-in-a-lifetime scenario.
That's true, and you know, we've seen it all the years. What a thrill. And that will do it. Eric Delaney, a very happy young man, as are his teammates. Over on the Kaneland side, Joe Thurgeson, congratulations to you and your club. You are the champions. Oh, what a night. 31-7 for Kaneland's Knights over the Bulldogs of Harrisburg. It'll be a short trip up north, you better believe that. They are the champs. Back with the awards after this. Well, the presentation is getting underway. The 3A champions and runners-up. The Knights of Kaneland, 31-7 over the Harrisburg Bulldogs. And, oh, look at that. They got the hats. Well, you know, the hats have come to high school.
Principal Jim Collins, Athletic Director Jim Thompson, Coach Al Way, and the captains of runner-up Harrisburg. A special medallion is presented to Mr. Collins and Mr. Thompson, and the individual awards will be presented to Coach Way and his team captains.
Al Way getting the medal around his neck. A very, very successful season. Again, a veteran coach. Nearly 20 years at the helm down in Harrisburg.
Well, I'm sure he would have liked to have come into this ball game with all of his horses ready to ride, but he had a lot of injuries, and it's really tough in the last ball game to have that happen.
Bulldogs of Harrisburg, who finished the season with a final record of 12 wins and 2 losses.
I guess in the 1A game today, as Gary Johnson, the losing coach, said, you know, both trophies are the same size. There are the Bulldogs, and they finished their season 12-2.
Next will Principal Dan Bertrand.
And there it is, the state championship trophy. For the first time, we'll be heading up north to Maple Park and Sugar Grove and other communities around that area that go to make up Kaneland High School. And all the officials, and most important, all the football players getting up on the trophy stand, and there they are.
Players, coaches, and spectators of each of the teams competing in this championship game were evaluated by a volunteer panel of judges. Winning a banner for sporting a winning attitude at the 1997 Class 3A game was Maple Park Kaneland. The member schools of the Illinois High School Association thank all of you here at Hancock Stadium for sporting a winning attitude.
Rusty
sportsmanship.
Posen, what a game he played. Along with him, of course, right next to him, Luke Peterson.
And his team captains.
Probably as good a group effort as you'll ever see.
I was very impressed with them. I'd heard a lot about them. We saw them on film. First time I've seen the game, seen them play in person. A good shot of Joe there. He's a happy coach. He's done a great job. He and his staff have done an outstanding job. Really have a great bunch of athletes on both sides of the ball. Oftentimes one team will dominate one phase of it, but they really dominated this entire game, both offensively and defensively, and the special teams.
And only that trick play prevented a shutout for them, and they've had plenty of those this year so far.
It just seemed like they never were in jeopardy of losing it, and their confidence level was so high.
Class
Ryan
2018
West,
trophy
see him.
will be presented to the Knights of Kaneland, who finished the season with a
And
final
there it
record
is.
of 14 wins.
You know, during the swim
and
meet,
no
that thing
losses.
ends up in the pool. Seemed to like it a little better this way, although with all the water we had earlier, it might well have been a little soggy.
Great shot.
That's fun. A beautiful night here in Normal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes
And
the awards presentation.
awards are given out, and the smiles all around, certainly on the part of Kaneland. Well, the trophy is headed out. We'll be back. Talk to Coach Joe Thorgerson, show you some highlights right after this.
There's the story. 31-7, the Kaneland Knights are the Class 3A champions. Dyrol Joiners got winning and wet and happy coach Joe Thorgerson.
You got it, Coach. You waited 17 big years for this one. It finally comes, and you do it in a season in which you go undefeated. That makes it even sweeter, doesn't it?
It's a dream come true, you know. These seniors have worked so hard for us. They're winners all the way. We're not the biggest team in the world, but you know, you can see they stick, and we got pretty good talent on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm just proud of the kids.
And speaking of offensively speaking, you look at the guys like Flack. This guy had a great game going both ways, and also your quarterback, Delaney. A lot of composure out there tonight.
Well, we got a lot of people coming back next year. The only running back that's skill position that's not coming back is Ryan West. He's a pretty good one, but Kyle Schrader will be back, P.J. Fleck, Eric Delaney. And, hey, how about that defense? I thought they played outstanding.
And again, shutting them out in the second half. And I thought the biggest play of this ball game was when you guys come with the hook and ladder and then you go in and score. That pretty much knocked the win out of them, I would say.
I think that was the turning point because we let them back in and we weren't real smart right before the half ended. You know, you take a shot at something like that, we hit it. And then Eric and PJ really hooked up and scored right before the half. And then, you know, that got back everything that they had done to us prior to that. So I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm pretty speechless.
And offensively speaking, you scored some 31 points on a team that had only given up 4 touchdowns in the postseason against starters.
Well, we have a lot of speed. Our offensive line really courageous. We're playing with 5 guards. We don't have a prototype tackle, and they just play their hearts out. And I'm really happy for them.
All right, Coach, enjoy the victory as well as the title. And again, 17 years, they say good things come to those who wait. All right, we're going to take a break right now and come right back with more championship football right here on Sports Channel.
All right. Here's our Pepsi play of the game. And, of course, we have to show you, Jack, that old hook and ladder. It goes Delaney to Fleck and swings it over to Schrader. It didn't end up scoring a touchdown, but the touchdown came afterwards, and certainly all the fans enjoyed that one.
Couldn't draw it up any better in the sand than we did.
To visit the First Aid Center.
Okay. I love it. We're going to practice that when we get back to the hotel. Well, that's the situation from here. Let's go back down on the field. We will throw it down to Brian Davis and Al Harris.